Parent Entrepreneur Power, conversation number 172.
Parent Entrepreneur Power.
Wait, what? Entrepreneur Power!
This is the podcast for parents juggling the tough choices required for success in business while putting family first. Hi, I'm Mary Katherine Johnson, and I share the ups and downs and dirty truths of profits and potty training while chatting with successful parent entrepreneurs from all walks of life. Are you powered up? Hey there, Power Parents. Hello, hello. I got to tell you, I have been doing a lot of stuff in Facebook lately, and I've met some pretty incredible people. So welcome to the conversation. You know who I am, Mary Katherine Johnson, and I get to introduce you to another person that I've met through Facebook, through people, through networking, through Messenger, through all of these fun things. And this is Julie Stoian. She is the founder of Create Your Laptop Life. Hey there, Julie. How you doing?
Hi, Mary Katherine. Thank you so much for having me today.
You are very, very welcome. How's your day starting out?
It's Monday, so it's been a great Monday. It's been a great Monday. It's not a Friday though.
Yeah, let's just keep saying it's been a great Monday, and it'll end up that way, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, so we start everyone off who has never been on the show before with their once upon a time story. So we really want to get to know you and how you got into this whole parenting and entrepreneur gig. So which came first, the kids or the business?
The kids, absolutely, the kids. I had three children really close together, 3 kids in 3.5 years. And I nearly lost my mind. And so I started
So you started a business. That's really good. Yeah. No,
yeah, right.
Kidding.
That's a natural progression, right? So I started a mom blog in 2007 to keep my sanity, to just write about my ridiculous days that were just a blur. And I was very tech savvy. I was a great writer. And so it was a natural entry point into entrepreneurship. I eventually became a web designer and a copywriter, social media manager, did a lot of different service tasks, virtual assistants, web design, that sort of thing. And all was going well until 2014 when I ended up in an amicable divorce. And I actually not only got divorced, but also found myself pregnant with another child. Ooh. And it was a really dramatic, end of 2014. I tried to figure out, I thought, okay, I've got this little side hustle here. I'm a web designer. I'm making $1,500, $2,000 a month, which is, good money, but to support 4 children in the state of Connecticut is not enough. So I hemmed and hawed about whether to really dig deep and make my life as an entrepreneur be permanent or to go get a job. And I took a temporary job at a college in the marketing department just to get me some insurance so I could have my baby, in a hospital instead of on the side of the road. And when I did that, I moonlighted my web design business. And I thought, what, I'm going to turn this. I'm going to keep building this. I went more into marketing and internet marketing, Facebook ads, sales funnels, things like that. By the time I was due with my baby, I had built up my business enough that I was able to quit that temporary job, have the baby, go on maternity leave, and then I never, and then the rest is history. And then from 2015 till now, I have built a little miniature empire that is supporting my entire family in Connecticut, which is amazing. So I'm really blessed.
Isn't that wonderful? Yeah. So you never looked back, right?
Never looked back.
Oh, I know. And tell me about your days. Okay. So with 4 little ones, so that your youngest then is like little, 2. So
I said they're not all little.
Right. But your youngest is how old?
2.
Yeah. And so give me the ages.
Okay, it's 2, 10, 12, and almost 14.
Got it. So that's awesome. So the 10, 12, 14 can kind of, 14 especially, they're coming up to driving and they're going to be in their own life on their own anyway.
Exactly.
So, wow. So tell me about your days. Let's just start there. So you've got this mini empire going, you're doing all these crazy things, you're having a a great time in marketing and Facebook and just social media and web design and all these amazing things. And especially when you talk about create your laptop life. I think most of us in the online world know what that means. Okay.
Yes.
We know that's the freedom lifestyle that everybody talks about. So, so tell me about your days. How do you, just take me from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed and give me a sketch of how your day works.
It's pretty crazy. I usually, like today, I woke up at 3, but no, that's not normal. What's normal is for me to wake up around 6 or 7 in the morning and get the kids off to school. I usually start work around 8:15, 8:30 once all the kids are off to school. My husband's a soccer coach, so he's home with the baby during the day and he works in the afternoon. So then I go down to my office. I attempt to concentrate and be distraction free from 8 till 4. At which point I come upstairs and it's literally the passing of the baby off, from one parent to the next, because he works 4 to 9. I stop. I try not to Facebook from 4 to 8, which we all know is a really big joke because I still do it. Mm-hmm. But from 4 to 8 is just like madness. All the kids come home. It's taxi, homework, dinner, activities, all that kind of stuff. The baby goes to bed. And then usually, if I were to be really brutally honest, I would say that once they're all in bed, I'm back on my computer until I go to bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds pretty similar. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, we all have this great idea, and Hal Elrod, love him to death, and sending you healthy, wonderful vibes, Hal. But it would be great if we could all just meditate and relax and structure our day, and that would be wonderful. And sometimes I do, seriously. Sometimes I do when I really need it, and usually I know I need it when I go to bed and can't shut my mind off. That's when I go, okay, Mary, it's time to get back into your zen, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not a daily routine. It just doesn't happen that way. Especially since I have one at home that I'm homeschooling. So it just doesn't have a quote routine that's very set. So wow. So okay. So tell me about when you are at work, 8:15 to 4. Okay, you must break there to eat, I hope, or at least get up out of your chair, please.
Yes,
Come
I
on.
do.
Come on, Mama.
I do.
Yes. All right. So in there, when you say I get in my computer, I try and be distraction free, all that stuff. What do you mean? Take me down into the trees of this forest. What does that look like on your desktop?
Yes. Well, my desk is an absolute disaster and there's food everywhere and drinks and it's really not as sexy as anybody makes it look. However, most of the time I spend my mornings doing what I call my 100 block work. And I have this theory and I teach it to my students about the difference between your 10, your 50, and your 100 blocks. And the 100 block was based on this idea that there are certain tasks that I need 100% of my brain power for. And then there are other tasks where I can really accomplish them with about 50% capacity. And then the other tasks, which I really only need about 10%. And trolling on Facebook is a 10% activity.
Right.
So when I was planning my day, I knew that the morning is my most solid 100 block where not only do I have no distractions, but I have a fresh brain. And so I really try and often fail, but I try to not do anything that would really be categorized as a 10 or 50 task in that 100 block time. So I do most of my copywriting, my course development. I don't even take interviews during that 100 block. I do most of it in the afternoon when, it's a little bit easier to do an interview than it is to sit down and write a piece of sales page copy.
Right.
That's a really hard task.
Right.
And that's kind of how I try to structure my day. So my mornings are oftentimes call free.
Got it.
Theory.
And so, but when you do that, when you say distraction free and you're going to do copywriting, do you use Scrivener? Do you just open up your WordPress and expand it out? How do you make your area distraction free?
I use Google Docs.
Okay.
That's what I use. I guess I've taught myself some pretty decent concentration skills. I don't use any special software. I just open up a Google Doc and go. If I really, really can't even handle having a browser, I have been known to write some pretty profitable sales pages on an Apple Note.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah, I've written a lot of course content, just opening up notes and
Yep.
just typing away. It's kind of a flow of consciousness. When
Exactly.
it happens, you just run with it, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So do you use any kind of a timing system or anything like that, or do you just write until you're done writing?
No, I don't use a timing system because I find, I don't know if other copywriters have this problem, but there's no way I could ever do 40 hours a week of copy. Like my
Right.
brain just dies. You
Right.
need creativity and you need to be, sometimes I just need to get away from the computer entirely and use a pen and paper in
Right.
order to get that flow going. That's for copy. Other types of work I do, I can withstand longer periods of time.
Yeah, definitely. I agree 100%. Okay, so that's your productive time. And when you say 10 or 50%, 10, 20%, 50%, 100%, what give me some examples of what the 50% and the 20% are. We've talked about trolling Facebook, and that's just trolling and looking at posts and responding to posts, right?
Right,
Okay.
exactly. Networking, that kind of thing.
Right. So what's the other stuff?
Yeah, well, I would say that 50 block tasks typically are things like responding to emails, putting together proposals, scheduling out social media, things that still require some concentration, but not at the level of a web design project or a copywriting, task. So those would be the kinds of things I do. I consider an interview a 50% block, which I realize now that I'm saying that out loud, that seems kind of silly because it insinuates that I'm doing three other things while I'm talking to you. And I promise I'm not. But I think the 50 doesn't just represent how many things you can do at once. It also just represents how tired your brain is. And I have so many tasks I have to do in a day that require so much brain power that it's really a pretty strict process to kind of weed out what I should be doing in those mornings and what I can put off till the afternoon.
And I have to agree 100% with you, Julie. It's not necessarily just whether you're quote multitasking. Okay,
Right.
so we've already covered the fact that you really can't multitask unless you're like listening to music and vacuuming. Okay, so that's multitasking. You're doing two things at the same time, but your brain doesn't need to focus on the music. It focuses on the vacuuming. So in this sense, when you're trolling Facebook, you are actually mindful of what you're doing on Facebook, but it doesn't take all of your energy and all your synapses to be creating something on Facebook.
Exactly.
You're still present, like we're talking right now. We're present, but it's like having a conversation with someone. It's not where you have to. And if you've ever created copy, good copy, you know what we're talking about, because that takes real focus and concentration. And for me, in order to do that, I have to. It's almost like I have to take my brain down the staircase into that mode. And the way I take my brain down that staircase is I start with, say, an outline or some kind of structure of what I'm doing, whether it's a blank lead page or whether it's, an actual outline on the piece of paper or it's a mind map or something, so that I get my brain little by little down to exactly what I'm doing. And I call it the staircase. So I'm taking my brain down that staircase to that creative room that I have to live in for a certain amount of time to create that. So am I explaining that right? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It's definitely like, for me, it feels like a switch goes off when I finally get in that groove. And God help me if I get interrupted with a discovery call or, something like it's over. I'm done.
I know. That makes me more angry, drives me more crazy than anything else.
Yes.
If I get interrupted in the middle of that flow of that thought, oh my gosh, it's just
Watch
awful.
out.
Yeah, it's really because when you're grooving, man, it takes a lot to get to that. And then to get back out, be pulled back out of it, and then have to try and get back in is really hard. So power parents, and Julie, we call ourselves power parents because if we've gotten kids through potty training, we have the power to handle business. No,
I totally agree.
Yeah, no problem. We can. This is nothing compared to trying to get kids to do things. So we are power parents. So power parents, if if you're looking for a way and you just can't get your brain there, that's the number one thing you need to do is find ways to quiet it. Find ways to take that staircase down into your creative mind. And it's not just being mindful. That really is focus. That is, yeah, it really, that's the definition of focus for me is when I'm in that mode. And if somebody's got their leaf blower on outside and a neighbor's got their leaf blower out, or they're going with their lawnmower, or that noise does not bother me at all because I don't even hear it. It's not even, doesn't exist. If someone walks up
and that's kind of the definition of focus is being able to stay on a task even when because there's always things going around, going on in our environment. Right now, my cat is leaping on the curtains and I hear the water running above my head and my heater's running,
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And so if someone came up and tapped me on the shoulder now, that's different because that's what's going to break my concentration. Or the phone ringing and I've got to check. And I have done this where the phone is ringing and I just immediately push, decline.
Mute.
Yeah.
Decline.
Whatever it is. And I can keep going as long as I don't look at the number, think about who's calling, that will distract and I'll get out of that zone. But if I don't even look at it and it's just an automatic decline or mute or whatever, I can keep my focus. That's what we're talking about is focus.
Yes.
And when you can get there, it is a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Totally. It's amazing. Magic happens.
Oh my gosh. Yes. It's wonderful. That's where you write books. That's where you write epic blog posts. That's where you write epic sales pages that really communicate exactly what you want to say to your exact audience, that one person who needs exactly what you have. Wow. And so it sounds like you've done that a lot. Tell me a little bit more about the business now and how you've morphed from a mom blog into social media and web design and now this create your laptop life. What's that all about?
Yeah. So I have morphed. That's it's evolved, but I realized that a lot of the skills that I learned in those days as a writer and as a blogger, designer, I learned all the skills you need to be a pretty good digital marketer. And I'm being humble. I'm a really good digital marketer. So I design sales pages and run Facebook ads and create online businesses from scratch, create brands. And so Create Your Laptop Life is my signature brand. It is basically for females. I mean, males too, but I really cater to the female audience mostly. And I teach women how to build and market their online businesses. And I focus a lot on the service provider industry. So that means if you're a virtual assistant, copywriter, designer, or even something like a coach or a consultant, the online service providers are really my niche. I do have some e-com, but most of them are selling services, not direct like physical products. Mm-hmm. So I do that. I teach people how to do what I do. I basically say I teach you how to find and make money on the internet. That's my second grade version, which works really well for most people.
We all have to have that, right? Something very simple that, the whole elevator pitch from years and years ago, something very simple that explains exactly what you do very quickly.
Exactly.
Awesome. So it sounds like you've done that through experience of building your own. So what were those first businesses that you started that gave you that experience to then branch out to do it for other people?
Right. So my blog design business, I designed hundreds and hundreds of blogs. I also did a blog migration business where I was migrating blogs from Blogger to WordPress. So I learned how to market both of those skill sets. Mm-hmm. Then I started to do social media management. I also did copywriting and I even signed up for a text broker and I was on Odesk and, I did all that, the 25 cents an article. Learned a lot about SEO, built a great blog that was fabulousblogging.com, got a great Alexa rank, really built that up, millions of views, learned a lot about digital marketing through those businesses. And then I started to take marketing clients. And my big success story, I've had a lot since then, but the first one that really I knocked out of the park was a set of 3 women. Healthy Habits, Happy Moms are their names. They're lovely ladies. And they came to me because they needed help with ConvertKit, which, I think you know what ConvertKit is, the email service provider. And they said, our tags are really all messed up. We're really disorganized. Can you help us? And I took a risk and I said, you know what? Your problem is not ConvertKit. Your problem is completely different. And I'd love to help you market your business differently. And they said, okay, they agreed. I managed to sell them on a package double what they expected. But what happened was we worked together for 6 months and they launched a signature product and made $100,000 in their launch. And this was my big, story of, hey, I took somebody who, was slogging away with $7 a month memberships and not really making a lot to making a really significant amount of money in a short period of time. So that's when I knew I was onto something.
Got it. And then once you were able to talk about those results, and
Yes.
they not only, so Power Parents, please hear this. So she didn't go and do this for free. She did this because she had a skill already and they were willing to pay her for it. And she showed them where she thought they needed to change their business before she started charging them. Said, you know what, you need this, 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 and this instead of tags. And this is what I charge to do that for you. And if you do that, this is what might happen. Is that kind of how it went?
That's exactly. I mean, I did not know they were going to make that much money.
Right.
I probably would have charged triple because I think
either that or, revenue share,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's the way you do it. You have an expertise. You don't do it for free necessarily unless you don't really have the expertise and haven't done it yet. Then yes, you can do it for free and test on people if you really, really need to. But if you know that you know how to do this, don't do it for free. Don't discount everything you do. Be proud of what you do, and you never know, the right person will come along that you will be able to make an amazing impact, just like Julie did. And then just compound that with other people that then you can tell, look at what I was able to help these people do. Now, obviously, they had to have some part in it. It's not just you single-handedly going and doing this, right? Yeah. That would be wonderful, but no, it still is their business. They still had to know their business and be able to communicate that to you. But wow, what an amazing thing. And so then once you had that under your belt, so to speak, then you were able to do what with it?
Then all of a sudden people wanted my help with launching and sales funnels. And it was the boost of confidence that I needed. I also created a sales funnel for myself, for my own business, for Create Your Laptop Life. I had some success launching products, making $10,000, $15,000, $27,000 in a launch, and worked really well. And then I discovered Russell Brunson, and I started following everything that he did and reading his books. And I decided to put all my skills into exactly what he told me to do. And I built this funnel, and I have I just did an interview with them called Birth Your Funnel, because there's a lot of similarities between building a funnel and giving birth.
Yeah. Hello.
And I launched it, and I was so scared that it wasn't going to work, and it worked. And I closed some ridiculous 300 people on a $1,000 program over the course of the next 4 to 5 months. And it really put me on the map in a whole new way, because now I was making enough money that people were saying, I want to find a business coach who can get me to $100,000, or then I want a business coach that can get me to $100,000 a month. Mm-hmm. And I had finally cracked that code. And so now it was now a whole new level.
Right. And your experience once you birthed that funnel, basically you can systematize that. You have been able to systematize that for other people. Absolutely.
The last funnel I turned on was exactly the same type of funnel. Now, she had an audience already. We built her funnel. And last I checked, we were about 3 weeks in since we've launched the funnel, and she's made $150,000.
Yep. There you go. All right. So, but this was not just like our children. They're not born gazelles and they jump out and start running. This is over the last several years. You've again morphed and adapted and progressed to where you are now. And, Power Parents, again, this is just by taking action. This is just by testing things. And I'm sure, please tell me, Julie, that everything hasn't just been golden and everything you've done has been perfect, right? I mean,
what was so funny is that I had two clients in Healthy Habits. They made 100,000 on their launch, and my other client only made 7, and they both made the same investment. And I, learned a lot about why one worked and the other didn't. And it's actually related to something that I'm reading right now in the book Expert Secrets, which is the book I'm promoting on behalf of Russell. Is the difference between those two clients was one was really building a culture and a movement with their business, and the other person was just selling a product. And that difference is the difference literally between a $7,000 launch and a $100,000 launch.
That's it. So you didn't just jump and everything was rosy and beautiful and golden and everything worked every single time.
No.
Life doesn't work that way. So it's okay. Sometimes we are going to have downs and yes, those downs feel really, really crappy.
They do.
They really feel crappy, especially when you're doing them for clients and it doesn't work the way the client wants. It feels really crappy, even though we know it's not our quote fault. But it really does not feel good to do that for someone, and they know, and they've invested. And I no longer take that personally in that respect, but I definitely take the results personally of what I should do differently next time. And definitely change what's happening. So there you go, Power Parents. It's not all rosy and beautiful, but let me tell you, once you figure that out, I love the way you said you cracked that code. So that is fantastic. So where can we find out more about that birthing that funnel and how all of that works?
Yes. So, okay. I'm Russell Brunson, who is the king of internet marketing when it comes to building sales funnels, is launched his book Expert Secrets, and he's having this contest, Mary. Now, I innocently joined this contest thinking, oh, this will be fun. And it has turned into an all-out digital marketing bloodbath. And
I know, I saw the top 10.
I mean, it's so
You're in a tough field, woman, let me tell you.
Gossip columns being written and like all kinds of crazy, like you just put a bunch of marketers in a room, tell them they're going to have a contest to see how many books they can sell. And you can bet that they're going to find every possible loophole and strategy and shortcut they can to claw their way to the top. Mm-hmm. So I'm in this contest and I'm one of the only female service providers in the top 10. I'm with people like Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, Jeff Walker. I mean, huge names with huge lists. And I'm like, little Lucy Julie. And one of the things that's so powerful about this whole thing. So I'm the underdog story right now, and I'm trying to stay in the top 10. And I ran out of my own network, right? I only have 10,000 followers. 10,000 people on my list. Mm-hmm. I don't have a big list, but the fact that I'm in the top 10 with these enormous people that I respect a lot just goes to show the power of culture and community. And that's something that I've really fostered. And that's a lot of what Expert Secrets is all about. So it's just kind of coincidental, but not really. But no. So if you want to buy Expert Secrets because you want to learn how to build that culture and community, and you buy through my link, I'm giving away my Facebook Ads Vault as a bonus to support me, to support women in internet marketing, because it's just me and Amy Porterfield. We're the only two in the top 10. And so that's kind of my pitch, like get his book because it's amazing. And then also get my Facebook Ads Vault, which is amazing, and support the underdog in the bloodbath book launch competition of the century.
It is, but I gotta say, Russell kind of fosters that. I mean, he really I thought at first that he, like, when he changed the rules, and I kind of got mad and I kind of called him out on it, and I created a little bit of drama, and then he agreed to do an interview with me because he saw that I was upset. And so I thought, okay, he didn't mean to, but then he changed the rules again, and I thought, no, he knows exactly what he's doing. That's right. He's you said it already. One of the best marketers, and marketers know how to market. They do. Yes. All right. So where do we go? I'm asking for help. People like you, Mary. I've done so many interviews I can't even tell you, because my whole point is if
you can make connections, build culture, build community. That's where the bulk of successful business happens. That's why I'm in the top 10 with Tony Robbins, who has 8 bajillion followers, because I've leveraged community and culture. So if that's something that you're interested in, you should buy the book, get the vault, and support the underdog to the top.
And so where do we go? Don't leave us hanging.
So expertsecrets.com/Julie. That will be my link. And every 24 hours or so, I check the list and then I go and I send people the Facebook ads vault. So that would be awesome.
And what's in the Facebook ads vault? Because that's what we've been talking a lot about. I know Power Parents, the last few solo episodes I've done have been all about what I'm doing on Facebook and messenger funnels and all those kinds of things.
Yes.
So tell me what's in this.
So it includes a beginner class, Facebook ads for freelancers. It teaches you how to start using Facebook ads as a business. I also include my 5-day Facebook ads masterclass, which is for all kinds of, that's really for any industry possible. How to run ads to giveaways, how to run ads to blog posts, how to run ads to sales pages, how to run ads to webinars. And then I have a messenger funnel case study that I did with a client and showed how I used messenger bots to create this Facebook funnel. And then I have a bunch of other things, audiences and swipe files and a download about Facebook ad copy, how to create images, overview of conversions and pixels. It's like everything I've ever done on Facebook ads that's free and paid is in this vault. It's like, it's insane. No one else is offering that level. I have to, because I'm the underdog. I have to show up in a serious way.
Yeah, give it all, baby. You betcha. Give whatever you need to give. That's fantastic. So, okay, it's a contest. Contests have
over
prizes.
This Sunday,
and
May 21st.
And contests have prizes. So what's the prize?
You're going to laugh. I'm kind of almost embarrassed. I don't even want to say it. So the top 10 get customized superhero suits.
Okay.
So I'm just kidding. I mean, no, I'm not kidding. That's really what the prize is, but actually the prize is a private mastermind with Russell Brunson in Boise. But if you're in the top 20, you get that mastermind. But and this is a little tidbit of information. When I showed up in the top 10, it completely changed my business. All of a sudden, people who had no idea who I was saw my name next to Tony Robbins. And that has done more for my business. The piggyback marketing effect is why I'm in this still, because I know that if I can prove that I can run with those big dogs with a 20th of the following and the funds that they have, then I'm proving that I understand online culture and community, which will give me more credibility in the space. So that's why I'm still in it, not really for the Batman suit.
Well, kind of. It's kind of, sort of, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. All right, so I know this is a podcast and there will be people listening to this weeks and weeks and months after this is gone and the contest is over. So I really hope, and I know, at least from my perspective, that we created a lot of value in the beginning of this before we got to any of this contest or other stuff. And I'm sure that if you don't have expert secrets yet and you're listening to this way in the future, I'm sure that link will still be good, probably, because that's kind of the way Russell rolls. So, wow. All right, Power Parents. I mean, how could you not vote for the underdog? How could you not, how could you not want to do it? And we're talking, it's a $17 book, right?
It's $7.95.
Flippin' A, $7.
$7.95. And now two things. One, the Facebook ads vault, I have sold anywhere between $4.97 and $9.97. So $7.95 for the Facebook ads vault. But what's crazy is just when you go through Russell's funnel, be careful. I suggest you freeze your credit card in an ice cube tray, because you will
buy everything.
Be very tempted to buy all the upsells and the downsells.
Yes. Well, and I can just tell you right now, Funnel University is incredible. The value that's just in that alone is really incredible.
Yes.
But yes, you're right. Just buy the book. And basically when you buy the book, you're really only paying for shipping. Is that still the case? Yeah.
Yep.
So it's the same as what he did with .com Secrets a few years ago.
Exactly.
It's the same thing. It basically is giving the book away for free, and all you have to pay for is the shipping. But once you do that, you're going to be in a funnel, and watch how it works. It's really incredible
Fascinating.
the way it works. And it's not, I don't believe that Russell is a marketer just to be a marketer. I really do believe he's passionate about what he does and wants to help those of us who want to promote our own products and sell our own products online. He wants to help us do that in the most effective way.
Yes.
I don't feel a sleaziness about him. And there are some people, when I go through their funnels, I'm like, ew, yuck, never mind, goodbye. And I know we all know what that means and what that looks like. We've all been in those things, but I don't feel that from Russell. I definitely feel a hard sell. I definitely feel here I am, I'm in your face, buy what I have to say. So I feel that, but I feel like he's doing it because he's so flippin' passionate about it. And the reason I know that is because I'm so flippin' passionate about Messenger now. And I feel the exact same way. I'm looking at people going, why do you want to send it back to email? I just don't get it. Because nobody opens email anymore. Why are you doing that? Yes, you can send an email, but why? So
Right.
I get it. I get that passion. So be prepared when you go through that. And I know I've already gone through it, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
Hilarious.
Yes, it is. It really is. He's all over the place. When he starts it, man, he splashes his face everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere. All right. So, Julie, let me just ask you one last question before we wrap all this up. Tell me,
Sure. There's
somebody sitting out there and they are rocking back and forth on the fence and going, God, I really want to jump in. Listen to that gal. Look at what she's been on. $300,000, even $10,000, $27,000. Oh my gosh, that would change my life. They're sitting on the fence and they're rocking back and forth going, I really want to do this, but they're not quite sure. What would you say to that person?
I would say, think about what happens. Think about yourself in 5 years. And I want you to picture two scenarios. The first scenario is you've tried and you failed and it didn't go as you planned. And sit with that feeling and think about how you might feel. Like, will you be remorseful? Will you regret what you did? Or will you feel like, gosh, I learned so much in that? And then the other side, imagine yourself in 5 years and imagine yourself successful. And imagine how that's going to feel and how glad you're going to be that you started today instead of waiting till tomorrow. Usually when most people do that exercise, they realize that even if they fail, how they feel about it in 5 years is, oh my gosh, I've learned so much about myself. There's skills and strategies and people that you meet along the way that has made it worth it. And when you do that exercise, you realize there's really no reason to hesitate except fear. And fear is an illusion and it's not real. And you're going to be glad you started today. And that's what I would say to people who are on the fence.
There you go. Do it and feel change, or do it and feel success, or don't do it and feel regret.
Yeah.
Period. Pretty simple.
That's pretty much it.
Well, Julie, thank you so much for spending this time with us. I really do appreciate it. And we're rooting for you. And just,
thank you.
The progress, the ability for kids. Come on, guys. We know what that's like. You can do it. Just thanks. Thanks for sharing all this amazing wisdom with us. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me and your amazing wisdom and your parentpreneur community. I want to be a power parent now.
Woohoo! You're welcome.
Yeah.
To get powered up for your day, just go to parententrepreneur.power.com and listen to any one of the over 100 episodes we've had so far with amazing entrepreneurs just like you. It might just help you feel like a grown-up again.